Let's get ready. All right. It's Gino Spot. Sit down now. Get yourself a drink. Sit down, relax. Let your stresses fade away. It's time for Gino Spot. We're nearly ready for you. We're just fiddling around behind the stage. We're just fiddling backstage with the buttons. Don't just step into the circle, you feel shy. Feel all the fuss. Why? When everybody's looking, don't you sigh? 'Cause you've mystified us.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. One drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot!
Get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot!
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino Shot!
Get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot!
Get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot!
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino Spot.
Gino
Yeah, we got some explosions back, baby. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Gino Spot, to my new, the semi-new studio. We've got a couple of extra things. You notice they're my cool radios. This is my Austin Powers radios, baby. That's right, for getting people in the mood. And we are here on Thursday night, indeed. Our quite new. We've been doing Thursdays for quite a while now. Find it works very nicely, and we are going to be also, remember, on Tuesday and Thursday we do the show live, which we do the longer version of the show, and we will be launching shortly a podcast where you can watch the show in a nutshell. 10 minutes. 10 minutes. PE is a 10-minute town, so we want to be able to watch these shows in 10 minutes when you're riding in your car or something. You know, you can do that as well. Ronald Minar is backing up early. Very, very windy Wellington. Oh, really? Oh, fantastic. Well, that's fine. We can remind you of Gqeberha because it's bloody always windy here as well. Although it's been very nice today. Burton Forbes BF, you are online indeed. Hey, Brent Keevy, can you catch a cold? Because you owe me a few catches behind the stumps, he says. Brent's watching from backstage here. He's rolling his eyes at you, Burton Forbes. There we go. Camilla Ellis, our favorite pineapple student. I'm wearing it tonight, and I'm also wearing this, which is a shirt that I got from Spa the other day, and it's made of recycled plastic. And I tell you what, it feels like soft stuff. I don't know how they do this. How do they make it out of plastic bags? I love it. So I'm recycled today, indeed. Gerda van der Vyver, how's it? Gerda saying lol as well. Fantastic. We are going to be speaking to Brent Keevy tonight, and it's going to be really fun. We got I've been wanting to have Brent on it for a while, and we're going to chat to him. But he's quite a deep old chap. You know, we'll dig down into his personality and see how things go. And thank you very much to our sponsor, Spar. Indeed, we have recently renewed, and they are going to be supporting the show right until the end of the year. It's going to be fantastic. I can't believe it. Spar have been wonderful, and Fitch and Leeds as well. Of course, Fitch and Leeds are now sponsoring my live shows, which we had one just recently Sunday at the Bridge Street, the St. Francis Brewery, which was fantastic. It was packed out, and it was lovely to have a live audience for a change again. So, ladies and gentlemen, tell me where you are watching from. as well. Tell me what you're doing, where you're watching from, and what you're drinking. If you get yourself a drink, you need to have, for the show, you need to have a glass of wine. You need to have a gin and tonic, preferably Fitch and Leeds, of course, because they are one of our sponsors. And sit yourself down and just relax. Let it, you can make your supper. That was the original plan. Make your supper, chat a little bit, but have it on in the background. Put it on the YouTube. Make sure that you subscribe to YouTube as well, so you know that every time Gino Spot comes on, you won't miss out, so that you don't miss out on the goings on in the Eastern Cape, because it makes the Eastern Cape happier. That's what Gino Spot's about. All right, so let me sing you a song, and while we're getting ready, pour yourself a drink. Let me know where you're watching from, what you're doing, and let me know anything. Let me know what's happening. What's happening in your life? What's interesting to you? I don't care. Just let me know, because I want to feel a sense of community. That's what we're doing here. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, let's give it a go. I don't know what song we're going to do. Oh, there, it's called automatic, systematic. Well, it's hydromatic. Well, it's grease lightning. Look at some overhead lifters and Lisa Henderson. Keep talking. She said, "Cloud your pockets, it'll lick a pink's proud of you." I'll get the money, I'll give you get the money. And Sean Swartz in the house says, "Ahoy, Gino. Ek praat my bietjie Afrikaans vir jou, grease lightning." Oh, and Wendy Thompson's here, right? And Wendy Swaddles from Titicaca, alright. Keith Clark is here. We're drinking punters, liquor punters, yeah. Is anxiously waiting to hang a bunt. And Justin Moore says, "Don't offer Brent fishbowl. He doesn't like coconut. Oh dear, dear. Big Hermes, well, Brent's all ears, buddy. A gold grease line and you burn up a quarter of a mile. And Keith Clark's in the Cape, of course. Douglas Fisherman, how's it been? Doug is jumping at all. Governor Ellis, singing with the field at school. Yes, Camilla, I remember that indeed. Of course, the first time I think we did Greece was probably do it at VP or at Clarendon Park. I can't remember, but we used to, at school they used to pull in all the guys, all the matrics always used to pull into the shows because it was good fun. Judith Campbell, hello, watching from the couch with your wine. Fantastic, Judith, lovely indeed. Judith, of course, helped me out by taking that yoke of medical aid off my shoulders. I was still doing medical aid stuff, and Michelle, lovely to have you online as well. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, it is going to be time. I think I do see that it's going to be time for our special guest to come on and say hello to Brent Keevy. Ooh, welcome to the show. Now it's your turn to shine. We're gonna have a chat tonight. Another good time. And there we go. It was quite good to get these mics in here quickly. Eh? the guys don't know backstage is what all the rushing that goes on behind you.
Gino, you're such a laugh. I mean, I saw Michelle Alberts come on there.
Yes.
Gino,
yes.
She was the best person I've ever had work for me.
Oh, really?
She used to come and just say, "BJK, just behave yourself now."
Oh, really?
Stop listening to me. Went all the way back to the stats, She married a policeman, so I couldn't say anything back to her. So
oh, my word. No, you've got to be careful. There's BJK's Brent Jack Keevy.
Yeah, that's correct.
Jack, eh? Good old name, Jack. I like that. It's a Scottish going on there. What is it, Keevy?
Keevy.
She's a Scottish.
Irish.
Irish. Oh, that's supposed to feel soft and lilting, is it not?
Yeah. We went to County Cork to go find the heraldry,
Oh, the heraldry! Did you go and find it then for you bastards going to race it down there to Ireland? There's a lot of people from the Bay actually came from Ireland. I think, or got Ireland roots.
My mother's family was Scotland, of course. So my
Scallywag.
so Grandpa always thought he was completely Irish. You know, St. Patrick's Day was just the other day, of course. So
Oh, okay, right.
dressed up in green and completely Irish.
Oh man! But Brent, thank you for coming on the show, and cheers to you.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
Yeah, thank you to Casey Clark. Yeah, thank you
Yes,
very much,
Casey's
Casey.
got. We've
Thank
got
you,
the
Casey.
contest, Casey. It's great. We've still got a little bit left here, but we're gonna need a top up at some stage. You know, we can't go dry forever here. We always give him a bit of a niggle about bringing us more, you know.
What a wonderful man.
And there we go. Brent looking good, but he says there. He says they're looking good. I mean, yeah.
Casey, I like Casey, yeah.
No, but I think,
Casey's come a long way. I think
yeah.
he's probably known us since we were born, you know, Casey.
Yeah, really.
Casey was a good friend of our parents, so,
Because
from Heatherbank days. And, you know.
Heatherbank and soccer as
Heatherbank soccer, you know, Jackie Keevy there. We used to go Saturday mornings and fetch all the kids, and mom and dad used to fetch everyone and go fish.
Yeah.
When it was soccer, he was going to take them fishing, and
Oh, really?
that's where we met Bob's Manor, you know, in Apple,
Yes.
and
Barbara Manners, yeah, I'm sure
Barbara
she's
Manor will be
online
here,
as
you
well.
know. My sister-in-law's come on, so that's all good.
Is this Tracy painting? Is that your sister-in-law there? Oh, the favourite brother-in-law. Go, Brenty.
Yeah, you know,
Brenty.
she's a doctor now, you know, so I married into a family where we could get educated.
Oh my word! So not just pretty faces here.
Yeah, not just pretty faces,
Yeah.
really educated people, you know. So
Jackie, what a legend and a great mate. I need to hear about Jack, Jeanette, and Kelly, of course.
yeah, those are the days.
Who does all those people like Jeanette and Kelly and things? Is that all your sisters?
Yeah, unfortunately, they're no longer with us, you know. I think that's where most people will know me from the Heatherbank days, the soccer days.
Yeah.
You know, Jeanette was such a massive person, not just inside.
Yeah.
She was a massive person. I mean, she loved all the kids. She loved all the people. She just made Heatherbank work.
Yeah.
You know, and Dad, I think she was fantastic towards Dad because she just let him be, and he could coach and he could go to work and he could do his thing and raise a big family. And then, you know, unfortunately, the Bowmasters lost their mom, and then the Bowmaster family became part of us. And there were 7 or 8 of us in the house most of the time. And unfortunately, they were quite talented people. So,
I'm sure, yes.
Sporting-wise, we got a bit backwards.
Absolutely.
Some competition, yeah. So
I see John Best saying, "How's it, Brent?"
Johnny Best, yeah, I think I hope he's sorting the municipality out there.
Please,
Johnny,
we need
please.
some
Yeah,
street
please,
lights, John. What's going on? We need to get those buggers to start paying. Brad Paul says, "Sink those GMTs."
One of the hardest working men I know. I was at Kenton this weekend.
Oh.
25th wedding anniversary.
25
Yeah,
years.
we just had a wonderful time at
Hard
Kenton.
toil, hey?
And the Eastern Cape, hard toil, you know, the Eastern Cape's fantastic. We went to Settlers Drift at Kuricha, just most magnificent place.
Settlers Drift, is that out there?
Kuricha Lodge out there on the way to Kenton.
Okay.
But we've got some special places in the Eastern Cape.
Lower Albany, it's...
Lower Albany,
there's
nothing's changed, the life is slow there.
It is.
No, it's beautiful, I mean, absolutely stunning.
Absolutely, I love that Buttenswar accent there. There we go. There's your 25 years with your lovely wife.
Yeah, lovely Anne. I'm married into the Immelman family, as I said, you know, and
yes.
You know, so
Jan.
I had to get Yanni. Remember Yanni Immelman, headmaster of St. George's, and
absolutely
head of SASA, and you know, I had to get educated all over again because you know we had Alex and VP, you know, so Yanni educated me, especially for about 31 years now.
Oh, right,
so,
he was
what a wonderful
St. George's
man.
when I met him, I think. And a lovely chap, yes.
You know, just a wonderful man. He was like a father to me. You know, fantastic man. Very supportive.
Dean Emsley saying, "How's it as well from Oz?"
Yeah, what a cricketer. I mean, Burton Forbes talked about me dropping some catches.
Oh, really?
The only reason was Dean Emsley was a fantastic wicketkeeper, and I think on the days he didn't play. But as Bertie Bilton Forbes would know, we dropped a few more than we caught. But you know, those were great days playing sporting in the Eastern Cape and playing cricket, playing great cricket.
Roseanne Binks saying, "You
Rosie,
mustn't drop your drink. Don't drop
Binks.
your
You know,
drink."
there's this nickname Binks. They all call me Binks.
Binks.
But Rosie's married to Mark Biggs. You know, also a great cricketer. My captain there at Union, daughter Jess used to come around about 5.
Wow.
Super fan.
As well. There's also another club there, and I don't know if that's related to Gavin Biggs, because we've got to get Gavin Biggs on the show at some stage with City Painted 2.
I'm not sure they're related, but
I don't know. Well, she can tell us. Tell us there. And then Burton Forbes saying, "How's it? I'm also educated in not counting how many castles I could drink."
Bertie Forbes was a fantastic bowler. It was really quick.
Oh, really?
Really quick. His umpiring's got a bit wayward in the old days. He gave my son out a few times, which is always more difficult as a parent.
That's not really nice of you there,
but
Bert. You know, it is when it is the children of your friends, you've got to be a little bit more sort of, you've got to overlook a couple of things.
And Claudia Parker's married to a good friend of mine. I mean, he's got one of my favourite sayings, no good deed goes unpunished.
Oh, really?
So I keep telling him I'm going to keep doing them, but no good deed goes unpunished. So,
Good. Lower Albany forever, but there's the Emsleys. You check the Emsleys.
He's the Emsleys all over. I mean, fantastic
I saw Neil yesterday. He was out there as well.
Alicia
Mumses, she is, of course, Newton Park Spa. We're going to have her on next week, I think. Is it next week?
Wonderful. Narissa's mom.
Classy man on the screen tonight.
Narissa's mom, married to
Yes,
Brad.
yes, Narissa, absolutely.
Leslie.
And Leslie Boxall. Are you there?
Yeah, Leanne worked in the beginning with her. Fantastic.
Oh, man. And Keith Guy says, must have some chirps.
Stu, I mean, he talks about Stu and Scotty, but we grew up in a highly competitive family.
Yes.
I think, we didn't, the definition of a good loser was someone who lost often. So we,
it made it easier for you guys.
Dad, he grew up in, Jackie grew up in Ipi Children's Home.
Okay, yes.
And then he met Jeanette Keevy, and then who was part of Jeanette Scullin at the time.
So your dad was an orphan? Or
he was an orphan, yeah. He was an
Okay,
orphan,
okay.
and he came out of Ipi Children's Home, and then he had these 4 children. And then he had this business called the Spray Deck, so we used to go down and help him there fixing motor vehicles and spray painting, and then Friday 4 o'clock he'd come home and
Panel beater.
Yeah,
I see.
yeah.
I see. Biggie.
And you'd go to St. Francis Bay and love fishing. I mean, Mark van Vuuren will fish with him.
Yeah.
Incredible fisherman. Incredible man. And we just loved being there on the rocks with him,
Yeah.
Gino, but as a 5-year-old, with your father fishing must be very difficult for him because in the waves, if any of you have been to Cape St. Francis, it blows there.
No,
and the water comes over the rocks there, So you got your little one on the rocks, but he always took us with him.
But in those days they didn't really care much about the kids. They just let them do their own thing.
Yeah. We fed a few times. He jumped in a few times.
You see. See what I mean? It was like, the kids were a little bit tougher back then, I think.
Yeah, tougher back
then. I don't
know.
Do you think kids today have to deal with a lot more with it? They probably do. We have to deal.
Well, my kids learn to fish on We Fish. But, so you go around in the different countries and catch the different fish there. But my dad and I, from about 5 or 6 years old, we absolutely loved catching elf at St. Francis and just being around him. He was such a guy's guy, and my mom there and Stewie and Kelly, we were all part. The family was so important to him. I think when he came from Ipi Children's Home, his biggest thing was family.
Yeah.
And then unfortunately when my mom passed away, he battled to cope with that. He really suffered after that time. So those were but I think he made a difference to many people's lives.
Yeah.
I think when I chat about him, Casey Clark and all this guys, soccer, Barbara Manor will know, the Bowmisters will know. I mean, a hard man, but he'd do anything for you. And don't mess with his children or his family or even people he knew. So he was a very, 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 very tough, but very, very, very good family man.
Very loyal as well. And you look back at your own parents and you see, as an older person, you see the difficulties that they had early in their lives, and you understand so much more.
So much more. Gino, I think my mom dying when I was 16. I think that's been the biggest influence on my life. And I just saw what happened to Dad after that happened, because she was such a dominant character, and she just allowed him to be his best.
Yeah.
And when she came there, she passed away. She left a massive hole in the family, all going their own way. And and I think for me, and I was saying to Gary earlier, I think every day from then onwards, and we after you lose your mom, and that you go through quite a path. The whole family went through quite a difficult time, and quite aggressive and difficult person in my young teens and young 20s, and highly competitive, over competitive, and just wanting to be independent. And and only later on you learn about interdependence and learn about everything. But she just gave us the wings to fly, and I think we were so. And she gave Dad the wings to fly, but without her, the whole family changed. And I think
dynamic.
We'll talk about the Kiwi Cup later, but that's a big part of what we wanted to. Scotty and I, and we really want to get Stewie back, our brothers in Salt Lake City, which is like it's like a whole month by horse. I think about 15 days by boat, but it's like takes 2 days just to fly to him there and get him over. And we play the event for them, but we'll chat about that a bit later. But it was a massive part.
Yeah, it's a big blow. Hey? But well, let's just first let's talk about what you're doing at the moment. So, Profit, it's your business. Investment. What is it? Investments.
Yeah, so I was 27 when I started Finmap, so it's 25 years, similar just Leah and I got married 3 or 4 months before we started Finmap, and that's 25 years ago today. Not today, in about a month's time, but we managed 3 billion rand. At the beginning of last year, I had a few medical issues, and I was going to slow down, but Gino, there's so much opportunity out there, and especially for me to give back to the young people, my young friends, my friends whose children are coming through now. And I see opportunity in our industry every single day. So I've started a new section from company to kid, so which takes someone right from their company all the way to their children, and managing their whole lives in that way. I'm going to start a new business called FAM, which I thought was quite appropriate, Finmap Asset Management, which they're all derivatives of the business.
Yes.
We've hired 4 young guys and girls this year, all to start their careers in that, and I'm hoping to sort of hire 3 to 4 every year now and grow that. I wanted to slow down, but I think I'm going to open up in Cape Town as well. My boys, they're not too keen yet to come back, and they're just sort of finishing varsity there, so quite keen to open an office there. And like I said, we're managing lots of funds. About 10 years ago, I probably did the best thing I ever did. Instead of doing little bits for lots of people, I decided to do a lot for a certain amount of people. And that's just for me. That's just worked perfectly.
Well, it kind of builds into the relationship building, which is so important in any business. I think is that relationship building. So, and if you help them with everything. It just give them peace of mind for one, I suppose. Is that the model?
Yeah, I think the most important thing is for me to be that person's person. And most of my clients end up becoming our friends or part of our lives. And I'm really big in supporting back to the people in the Eastern Cape and the communities, and supporting all the people around us. If we can do that, we absolutely will be fine. The business is absolutely fine. We've got 20 people working there. It's beyond my wildest dreams where it would end up. I think Leanne's mom, when we got married, I started a business 4 months later. She thought.
So Finmap was started right then?
Right then, just after we got married. I think Tracy, David, my brother-in-law, they all knew. Jan and Wendy were part. But it was hairy times because for the first 3 years we didn't make a cent. So I was like, I wonder when we're going to start making some. And then after 4 or 5 years we started to build up. But I think, I was quite difficult at that stage. And because I had to work for myself. Because I don't think anyone else would employ me at that point. So, it was good. It was really good. And,
so 90, what is it, 90?
97, May 97,
Yeah, it's amazing because I think, I was involved in the medical aid side back then as well. It probably started in 98 or so. And so I remember you being at some of those things as well.
We had wonderful times before they sort of made everything perverse incentives. So you can't go and visit anything, or you can't go and see any trips. But we used to get together marvelously in the industry. We had lots of fun. But industry's lost its fun a bit. And now, we've got compliance.
Everything's lost its fun because everything gets cancelled and thing these days. It's like, it's crazy. It's it's often too politically correct.
Too politically correct. But I'm so lucky because I choose what I want to do. I try and do it as well as I can, and try and then connect with everyone around me. From the person that you meet from the front door to the back. If you connect with everyone, and we can just make this world a better place. So things like that. I know it sounds a bit.
No, it's just
fairy, but it's exactly what it is.
It is like that because you do it in small bubbles and larger bubbles, and it works like that. And I think if there's one thing that I've learned during lockdown as well, it's relationships and people. People. Yeah. So I believe Bianca Angelieri is also working for you guys.
She used to, Bianca.
So I say Angelieri. I'm saying Angelieri's Lamood.
She was outstanding. She's incredibly good at what she does, and she did our marketing. But she's got on her own. I really believe in. We set them free, and she's got her own marketing business now, and she'll be fantastic at what she does. She's really, really good, and I know she works with you in the spa days.
Yeah, she's also a spa brand ambassador. I've never, until the spa came around, I hadn't ever been a brand ambassador really for anything. But I quite like it because as long as it ties into what you do.
But I don't think you can run any business well without choosing not just the correct people. I'm not a great implementer, but I want all these ideas and that, and so I employ implementers. And I've got unbelievable ones. I mean, Shirley has been with me for 20 years. Hugo Moritz, who used to run the golf course. Sandre Mabry, all my staff there. They are just incredible implementers and so good at what they do. And without them, we'd be absolutely
Some long service awards going on there.
long service awards. I take them on a trip every year. Somebody,
really?
they want to go to Mauritius this year.
So we should have got on with this £2 a ticket.
£2 a ticket.
You could have scored, man.
Definitely.
It's now this weekend. You have to go this weekend. You phone them.
£2.
It's literally £2 a ticket or something.
So for $40, I'm quite good. I quite like numbers. So, so for $40, I could take my whole staff.
Take the whole staff. You just got to pay taxes or something.
I'll pay some taxes, and it's boring, but but it's boringly effective, and I think that's the most important point.
That's good. I see David Painting saying, "How's it?" and he says, "Brenty looking like the current Keevy Cup holder."
Yeah, it's a long story, Gino. Because fortunately, my brother-in-law David Painting's an incredible golfer, and we've managed to lose the first 4 Keevy Cups to my brother Scott. And it was getting a bit difficult. It was getting like we needed to win now, and so we last 2 we've won, and the last one we had a really great time. So Davey's saying we're looking confident.
We're looking confident again. Is it going to be the Lewis Hamilton of the Keevy Cup?
Yeah, we made a comeback. How's that Grand Prix on Friday? That was unbelievable Sunday.
Yeah, and Ferrari's back again.
Yes. Did you watch that Drive to Survive series?
I have been. The Drive to Survive has been amazing.
Amazing.
It's given Formula One a whole new
perspective.
Wow, I'm loving it.
And the race was just incredible.
Yeah, it was. And you know Ferrari's been out of it for so long, and then they get this.
I mean, that little bit of Max and Charles Leclerc was just incredible.
In like this. That's amazing. Martin King says, "Looking good, brother. Make sure the squash and golf stories are true."
I mean, the one thing we've done with I depart from mom and dad, but a few years ago, and we're very lucky. We played a squash club called Crusader Squash Club, and Martin is the current chairman there. We took over about 10 or 12 years ago, and it was a complete dump, like most squash clubs can be. The guys were the oldest kit. I mean, you go to a sports shop and there's no squash clothes because the guys would rather wear their leftover shirt. They would do. There's no fashion in squash.
Yes.
So, but we had about 123 members, of which about 70 were paying subs.
Wow.
And I couldn't really figure this out. I became chairman, and then certain first league, if you played first league squash, you were getting paid, and we had no money, and I couldn't figure this out. So I banned all payments to squash players, and everyone had to pay their subs.
Yeah.
And today, 10, 12 years later, we've got about 270 members. They all play subs. The club is booming. We have the most greatest time. And Martin King and my brother Scott have done a great job. But again, I must say, you need an implementer. We had a guy, Daryl Bretsky, who came after me. And, Daryl's BSP and ex-EP rugby player, I think. He built a bit like a hooker.
Awesome vibes.
And Daryl, he just, everything they asked for, he did. Like, we're going to chop down the upstairs. Come back 6 weeks later, upstairs it's gone. Paint the walls are gone. So, it's so important in life to have implementers. And it's just
well, that club is looking absolutely beautiful. If you want to join a squash club, that's the one to be. It's really, really nice. Lindy Cook says, hello from Hilton, KZN.
Lindy Cook. Nice. I mean, Greg Hermes is a good Alex boy, but we had wonderful times. We had wonderful times at Alexa. It's so nice to go to school with boys and girls. Our relationships are quite easy. VP,
absolutely.
Westring, my boys went to Grey, but
But you watch those Grey boys crash and burn after the matric.
The girls
don't go there, dude.
The girls are part of our life, and Greg will know the heart, and watching them play cricket, and Greg a little bit older than me, and they're watching the Barmasters, and my brother. Went to bat against Carl Balmaster with a motorbike helmet on from technical high school because Carl was so damn fast.
Yes.
We're all singing on the balcony. And the nicest thing, what Grey boys have got boy scorers. We had girl scorers. They used to come and draw pictures of our inningses, and it was wonderful.
Monique Besson was one of our scorers.
Monique Besson. Monique was great. Lynn Biggs used to score for us.
Yes.
All those type of things. So
Lynn Keane says keeping a close eye from Obai.
Lynn
Obai.
What a wonderful person, Lindine.
We're actually heading out to Obai soon, I think, for a gig. I think I've got a gig there. I can't remember who it's for.
Indeed, Obai, she's building a house out there, so hopefully she finishes and we can all go out and stay there.
We'll come and see. We'll come and see your house.
We play a bit of golf and check out her interior design there.
It says kaka.
We'd like to travel, Leanne and I. We absolutely love travel. I'm so blessed to have a wife like Leanne because. wherever we go, she can ski. We went, so she can ski down any mountains. She's a top skier.
Yeah.
We follow down the mountains.
Okay.
So we go holidays a lot. We travel a lot. That's how, if you live in PE, if you can, you must travel because we want to come back here. It's great to come back here.
Yes.
The world's a big place. And then we went to the Maldives this year, and we went for surfing lessons.
Oh, nice.
There we go, 5 lessons. I'm up. I can't get my head. You get so tired of surfing, and you can't get my head up on the board. And my son jumps up, and the next time I look around, there's Leanne surfing, and I can't get my head up. So I promised myself to go back this year.
No, you gotta do
I've been going to yoga 7 days a week.
You can learn here as well.
And I'm still battling to get up on the board, but I'm going to try some surfing.
Listen, Car Park John will take you a couple of lessons, but we'll get you.
Car Park John,
Do you know Car Park John? Have you met
the one with the coffee?
the beer, Car Park John beer. You know the beer?
I don't.
You know the Car Park John beers?
No, I don't.
You've got to get it.
I will.
It's here, it's brewed in town, but it's named after John Skippers. John, somebody tag John, please. Brent needs some surfing lessons, John, man. He hangs around in the car park all the time. He'll take you for a surfing lesson.
Rogan Skippers has promised me one of my sons.
Oh, excellent.
My boys turn 21 and then they can pick 3 things they want to do with me.
Yeah.
So my oldest son now, I've got to go surfing with him and I've got to do a CFA with him.
Okay.
I mean, goodness gracious, to become a certified financial analyst at my age.
Geez,
the papers are like this, and you ask me what my hobbies are. My hobbies now trying to pass the CFA and learn how to surf. So, but it's all part. I mean, when we turned, one of the nicest things I've done in my life is when I turned 50, I took 100 days off. And it was just incredible.
100 days.
100 days
out of your year. That's a third of your year.
Yeah. So I'm a bit. I like numbers, so I like the meaning of numbers. So turning 50 times 2, 100 days off. And we went traveling and learned to do headstands and a few things and a few other things. But the best thing I did was, wake up at Little Warmer Golf Course and walk to Seattle and just hang around the coffee shops and for an hour or two and coming back home and having absolutely nothing to do.
I love it.
And I didn't do it because I'm lazy or didn't want to go back to work. I did it so that we could, I can work till I'm 75, 80. Because I love what I do, So
you decided to have just take a specific break.
And I'm going to do it again. I'll do it next year again when I turn 55. And then I don't think I'm going to wait 5 years at a time. I might go every 2 or 3 years. But at the last day of the 100 days, so I learned to do a bit of yoga and do headstands. And in Bali, we did 100 days. I did 100 days headstand, 100 seconds on the head next to a surfboard. I've got a beautiful headstand, so that's my new party trick. I can do a headstand. So
nice.
That's all nice.
But I love that concept of just taking a break, and a lot of people, especially nowadays, because there's so much stress, and we've had 2 suicides just recently here in PE. Nicole Fowler, Chris Davidge, condolences to Chris. Because people get into a hole that is thing, and you've got to actually take those try. I don't know. There's so many things that you can try and do to just get your head in a different space. And I think that's not a bad plan. If you could afford it as well, I suppose. You probably are fortunate that you can do it and still survive financially, because to do that just frees your mind up. But I don't think.
But it took 23 years to be able to afford it.
Yeah, of course. Yes.
So I mean, and I'm not a psychologist, but if you can just get people to spend more time in the element, and I know life. I mean, life's fun. I've had my mom die, my dad die, my sister died at young ages. Yeah. So I've experienced lots of death in my short life. And, I just wake up wanting to make them proud and make them, think that, you're doing the right thing for them. And their lives weren't sort of a waste because they're so good. So I just would urge those people, I can say to them, if they're ever in any financial need, give me a call and I see if I can help them. We do a lot of 5 or 10% of our work. We do pro bono. They can come in. We can help them. You don't need money to sort your financial life out, contrary to what people think. But just try and spend as much time in your element. Now, when I see my wife, who's the right brain, but very much like you, but from an art side, and she's working on her art and she's happy being creative, completely, happy in that space. And
those moments.
If you can find that moment for 6, 7, 8 hours a day. They're awesome.
Like you said, walking down to Seattle is a smaller version of what you're talking about. The 100 days. Like you just take a walk from your house through your neighborhood to a spot. maybe a nostalgic thing or
100%.
something just to free your brain up a bit and get it going. I love that. I go
And
on
to
my
have a
runs.
chat with somebody when you're not in a rush.
Yeah.
And it can be 2 minutes, can be half an hour. You're sitting there and you just have a chat.
Okay.
And you then walk back home and you're completely cleared, and it was free. Because everyone thought, wow, what did you do? Yes, I did do 2 wonderful things, wonderful trips.
Yeah.
But the most of it was just taking time out.
Yeah.
And just to do it so that I could, I'd like to work. I don't believe in retirement, so I don't think I would want to retire. If I end up with 100 clients or 200 clients for the rest of my life, I'd be absolutely satisfied. Where we are with what it is.
I think eventually when your clients start changing your nappies, then you know it's time.
It's time to it's time.
No, I'm joking.
Well, talking about nappies. Last year in about March, I said to Leanne, life's quite good. The boys are away at Stellenbosch, and we can travel and we can do anything when COVID's over.
Yeah.
And then I went to had the dreaded prostate check and got checked, and then they found out I had prostate cancer, which was quite a shock to me because I didn't really know what to expect. Yeah. And it's quite a destruction of your manhood. And I speak to a lot of guys today, and you can't believe how much of it is around. I was in a boardroom the other day with 4 guys, and each one of them had it.
Yeah.
But it's quite a destruction of your manhood. And you talk about nappies, so that catheter is just the worst thing. It's only 2 weeks, but it's the absolute worst thing, having that pipe, and you walk around like an old man. And that was a hell of an experience. And then you take the catheter out, and you think, oh, such a relief. Yeah. And then you got nappies.
Because you're peeing all the time.
And you're exactly right. You're friendly. And please go to Clicks or something, just get me some more nappies. It's a shocker. So every morning I've got to the gym, and I've got to go in the gym and practicing my tummy muscles, just so that I can stop wearing my pants. So it's just a hell of an experience.
It's you need to go through these kind of things because as the standard idea of your manly self, it means nothing when you get older. You speak to old people, they don't care about that. I just fart and flip and pee. It's like you realize what's important and what's not important, and your obviously your health is important, but what you think about it is not. You got to solve it yourself, and the more you talk about it, the better, the easier it is.
And it's a day-by-day thing, And I mean, my wife always complains to me because I overshare a bit. But I think it's just my way of dealing with it because it's really tough.
Yeah.
And you go through that, and you want to. You're young still, and you want to make sure you're okay. But like you said, each day you get up and you go, and each day you go again, and
it's a sign of strength. If you take like you are, you take hold of it and you say, "This is you own it." That's it. It's part of me, bro.
Yeah, it is what it is, but it's been a big eye opener to me.
And a mental adjustment for the prostate cancer as well. Is it
massive.
Is it
Now you're on the roller coaster. You go 3 months and check, and 9 months and check, and you live by last week I went for my tests, and the one wasn't showing so good, so I was just didn't talk for 2 or 3 days.
Stress.
But then the other tests came back well, and then you're happy and you're sad. Yes. So you go all good. You get all good. But and I wanted, after I had my prostate, I was ready to almost retire. I was ready to say, okay, enough's enough, and I'm still young, but unfortunately I can't. But I then realized, I've got so much more to offer, just to be there and to grow the other people in the organization, and just to give back to my staff and grow that business, because the opportunities are there every single day, and I've just got to keep doing that.
And it's meaning. It reminds you that there has to be meaning in what you do in your life, I suppose.
Meaning, and I think you've got to surround yourself with great people that are positive. I've got my boys that I've got to be there for, and I've got my wife, and then the friends are just great. We got such good friends, and we're able to do lots of things. You live in the Eastern Cape, people are just nice people.
They're good people, man. They're good,
just good, nice people.
Bergies.
I mean, from Alexander Road out, like Douglas Wasserman early on, and the Barmisters, and Ernie Ward, who works with me now. It's just fantastic. Greg Ermies will be pleased to know if someone says they were from Alexander Road on their CV, they get the job.
They get the job straight away.
We have got a bit of nepotism.
Janet Sherman says, how's it been?
Hello, Janet, how are you?
The Sherman boys.
The Sherman boys. I mean, we must talk about the Sherman boys. They were fantastic. Yeah. Gary, I don't know, you might have remembered them from Herbert Herd as well, but all the Sherman boys were there. They, so they're fantastic.
I just
golfers.
remember Shirley Sherman, the thing. Is it Paul Sherman as well? Paul's
Sherman.
around.
But the Sherman brothers were proper golfers.
Oh,
Tall guys. I mean,
Yeah.
Wayne was 7'1" instead of 1, I think. So he's a big guy, Wayne Sherman.
No, I've just got my notes here in case I forget stuff here as well. We're checking, but because we jumping all over the place in true ADD fashion. Roseanne Biggs says, "How's your pickleball, Uncle? What is your pickleball?" I don't know if I like the sound of that.
So pickleball is very interesting. It's in all the states around the world now.
Yes.
They're starting pickleball courts, which is a combination of table tennis, badminton, tennis on. It's almost like we played tennis set in the old days.
Yes.
But they've got a section either side of the net called the kitchen, which you're not allowed to stand in and volley. So you've got to be back.
Okay.
And I think Rosie's alluding to her and Mark beating Leanne and I at pickleball. But we've just put a pickleball court at our house. It's so much fun. But
Is it lekker?
so I'm looking forward to anyone who wants to come along and challenge me at pickleball.
Bit of pickleball for you.
So as for us older guys, we can't run so much, but we we can sort of stand and volley and have some good things. Yeah.
Gary the Brains asked you what about the little on the Keevy Cup? Yeah, we're gonna discuss that. We're gonna have a little section where we talk about the Keevy Cup. Gary, definitely, because that's a big.
I've got a wonderful story about Gary De Bruin on the Kiwi Cup, but I've never seen a man look so shattered in my whole life.
Oh, really?
When he thought he had lost the Kiwi Cup for his team.
Oh, my soul, Gary.
So Gary Cup was absolutely ashen. His face was white. My friend Grant Finlay was jumping up and down. He thought he was hugging me. He hugged me so tight, my glasses went off. I think I broke a few ribs. And there was Gary Ashen. But meantime, we hadn't told him that the game had ended. The people before. so Gary De Bruin, a wonderful member of the Kiwi Cup, and what a great man, Gary.
We let you off there, Gary. We let you off. Man, as Lindy Cook saying, special memories of the Evans and Kiwi boys from Godfrey Road. What's
Godfrey Avenue, Charlotte, where we grew up. And my father and Evan used to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go fishing. And that was still the days where they sort of made the spinners in the back of their garage, and they poured the metal and made the sinkers and all their traces, and be up all night. And Land Rovers were allowed on the beach, and they could go find their favourite spots and fish. And the Evans brothers, but I mean Robert and Garth Evans, big strong guys. Then the Kiwis are quite small.
All right.
So I used to take we always used to have one brother on each of our sides just to even out the size.
Just keep out the size.
And Lindy Cook, and she had a wonderful mom, and Trudy. So wonderful. We grew up. We had such a good time growing up,
Yeah. Fire's there saying, "How's it? Hello, boys. Give Brendy some random numbers faster than a calculator." This is a thing I believe because we spoke about it before, that you used to add up number plates.
Yeah. So my late mom used to. She obviously saw I could add up numbers, so she'd just say when the car was going past, how much was that, and I'd say 22, 16, and I learned to be able to add numbers quite quickly. And if you put random numbers down, I can look at them, as soon as I've seen them all, I know the answer. So it was quite a nice.
Is it do you see it as a block, or do you see it as how does it work? I mean,
so most people count numbers like 8 plus 6 plus 14 equals 28 plus 30, 68 plus 22 equals 90 plus 35, 125 plus 40 equals 165. I don't see it like that. I just as I see the numbers, I know that 8 and 9 is 17. I don't need to add them. Okay. And that sounds funny, but if once I've seen all 8 or all 15, all 20 of the numbers, then I know the answer. So I'm very lucky. It's like I'm so sure it's like when I play drums to a song. When you count it in, I know where to go immediately. But you can do it with maths. I wish I could do that. I wish I might even swap my drums out for that. I was very fortunate in a way, and I don't know. We played a lot of sport as the Kiwi brothers, but in July '98, I had a really bad car accident.
Okay.
And I lost my central vision. So if you take an X and Y axis and you take a visual field right in the center of the eyes, I've lost
a hole in the middle.
I've got lots of blind spots.
Is it round?
Yeah. So if I look at the screen and try to read Casey's message now, I'd have to keep moving my head. So what I see perfectly. But what I don't see right in the middle of my vision, I don't see. So unfortunately, that put a hold on me, adding lots of numbers, because I would missee them, and then I wouldn't get it right as often. But what I can see, I can see perfectly well. I think that car accident was really a catalyst for Finmap, because I think like many good sportsmen, the biggest problem with sport is if you're good but not great, or you don't do the effort, you can end up playing yourself into poverty, you know. Bad sportsmen know they can't play. Bad sportsmen know they're not so good, but good sportsmen, they don't know they're not so good. So, you know, and you know, if you're really good, you make a living. But so at 28, I stopped all of those things and I focused on Finmap once I couldn't see. So, I mean, that was a hell of an experience. I'm sure Gary will bring up the photo later.
And like you said, that moment there is like, you might have, if you carried on, you might have just, you know, carried on playing sport until you were
5 or 6 or 7 or 8 more years, and then I think the opportunity to really start your own business goes each year. So the best day to start your business was yesterday for me, you know, the day before. So I was able to start it then, focus. I didn't have all those other outside activities, and so in a way it really galvanized.
Well, you're so lucky to have had that car crash, you know.
That was a terrible thing.
Well, whereabouts was that? Was that ENP as well?
We were coming back at about 11:30 from Nanacha. From Grahamstown, we went to a function there with Grahamstown Building Society, and as I came around the corner, a truck coming towards me was parked on the side of the road with a wheel off, and then I hit the wheel in the middle of the road. And it bounced me straight right, and my undercarriage was gone, and I had no steering rack, and went straight in the bush and rolled, and fortunately it rolled on my side. Leanne was in the car, so you know, unfortunately it mine. And then,
there we go. There's
I
your
couldn't see, so you know that was
your BMW.
And you know the BMW saved my life, because if you look on that right hand side there, the steering, my seat collapsed, and so it made me flatter in the car. So when the car came down and hit, I was almost lying down, but it felt like I'd been in a bit of a boxing match. You see the eyes, so the eyes all popped up, and then the damage to the eyes were just too big. But that sort of changed things for me, and then I had to focus on Finmap. So it was.
That's a
so, you know, you never know why things happen.
You know, she was. So a couple more things. Brent, you did me proud on your contribution to Grey High School as a board man, and how well your lad did there. It was so nice. Lads.
Yeah, Casey. I think they both did exceptionally well. I mean, what a great school you guys went to. I mean, people have produced people like yourself and Keith Simpson and.
Yeah, well, I mean, I know Casey's, you know, you've spoken about Casey before, doing so much for the sporters, for sport as well.
But Grace are wonderful. I mean, for the kids there, for the opportunities, I mean, it's the best sporting school in the country. The academics are great. So, I mean, they just had the most wonderful time there. And you can't help but not support them. And we travel because, you know, being in the Eastern Cape, to get the credibility that you need to do, you've got to go travel and play the top schools.
You do.
When you take the sports of rugby, hockey, water polo, cricket, squash, tennis, there's no better school in the country. Just awesome. I mean, just awesome the competition we had. It was a wonderful 15, 16 years of our lives.
Like,
but you know, I'm quite happy now.
Forms these lives and pushes them out. I mean, the schools in the Eastern Cape are generally good. Fantastic. I think we have still got good schools. There was just somebody there saying about Cape Town. Was it Tracy Deacon saying super proud of he remembers Uncle Jack also worked with me at IGI. And lovely memories. Says I have someone amazing in this space to intro you to in Cape Town, exactly like you with the same passion. Okay, that's Leslie Boxall saying that. So she can got to introduce you to something. Nicholas Smith.
Oh, there's Nikki. How wonderful is Nicholas Smith? She worked for me for a little bit.
Really?
I mean, I couldn't keep her because she's just so damn good.
We're talking about Nicola with Amobia.
Nicholas Smith, Amobia. I beg her to come back because she's such a talent.
No, well, she's running Amobia so nicely as well. And they sponsor us as well. They're on their internet, which has been fantastic. Wayne Furlong.
Well, good soccer player from Westring, I think.
Oh, right.
Really good EP soccer days. You know, Wayne was top. Him and his brother, I think Brett, even played for one of the top schools. There's Shafiq Abram.
Yes.
So Shafiq. So when we went to UPE to play cricket, you know, UPE had two teams. They were UPE and Pollux, and I wasn't sure I was going to make one of them. So I popped out to Shafiq, and we went to play at Good Hope, and we learned to go dance at the Golden Curtain, and we had a whole lot of things. It was just fantastic to mix. I mean, Shafiq and I are still best mates today. We call him Pucky. I mean, he was he could bowl. He could bat. He could bat better than his stats were. He became a spin bowler who could bat, but he could bat properly. I mean, we spent many times being 15 for 3 batting there, and then an hour later we were 60 for 4, and Shafiq had 40, and I was out. So we had a great time.
You need oaks like Shafiq. We need oaks like you. That's it. Dennis Karanjas is
Dennis
out there in our
Karanjas,
shirt,
thank
he
you,
said.
Dennis.
Yeah, nothing about my
So,
jacket, Dennis.
yeah.
Thank you.
You know, little parachutes, I think. What are they?
You know.
Yeah.
And just while we're talking about Algoa, Dennis with Algoa, of course, they're going to be playing my song, the song that starts the show. Brent, we've got that on playlisted on Algoa from tomorrow, and so
Awesome.
it's going to be a hit,
Oh,
and I'm
awesome.
going to be a millionaire. Daryl Britsky
Come
says-
invest with me. Come invest
I
with
will do it. We'll do all the money from our royalties. Daryl Britsky says hi, Brent, as well.
Oh,
So,
what a great man, eh? What a great man, Daryl Britsky.
Glenn Klopper.
Hello, Glenn. Alex always had the best looking girls, but
Oh, you
there's
know,
no
VP
doubt about that.
No, look, VP was way. It was just a shadow on VP.
that
It's
was
a Mazan Duplessis says, "I was like a Brent." Not too many G and T's. We don't want tomorrow to get tough. She
Yeah,
says.
tomorrow's a short day, so hopefully Friday. You know, Friday in the Bay is a short day, so we'll go.
Lovely little correction. I played wing.
Oh
really?
my goodness gracious! Because
it's
he's
bit-
He's not built like a winger.
Yeah, no. It's like a Jonah Lomu kind of wing. Yeah, Les Fairs.
Les
Brent-
Fairs is absolute legend of Clarendon Park.
Yes.
I think everyone Les has taught. He's taught their mothers. He's taught their fathers.
Taught me.
Yeah, he's taught everyone.
My uncles.
Les and Carol Fairs. I think Carol is still running the aftercare at Clarendon
Yes, still
there.
going strong.
Half my staff have their kids there, so we know Carol's going to look after them. and
Yes,
feed them.
she
So
does.
awesome.
Alicia says I think your wife manages you well, Brent. 100 days off is fantastic. I think so too. I think that's a
no,
bloody
listen.
great plan.
Alicia, you know, Leanne's tough on me, but we have a great time together. I mean, we see Alicia and we just absolutely love Narissa and Brad there. I saw a good friend of mine there, Robbie Kane. I've been trying to get my son to go overseas to play cricket with him in the States. He was a proper sportsman too of Alexander Road. Did well quickly, Robbie Kane.
Also, Alex Boyce, I like that.
Alex Boyce are good there.
I like that. Dennis says something there. Let's have a look. Says brilliant to find balance like that, hard work and a conscious decision to switch off. That's the key, I think, Dennis. Just that conscious decision to say, I'm switching off.
Yeah, because
Alfie's there as well. Say,
Alfie J, fantastic, Alex Boy. But I just want to comment on that. I think, you know, we spend a lot of time in the mental space.
Yeah.
You know, when you're giving advice all day and every day, and that, you know, that takes a big toll on you. So you need to take that time off. And like I said, I love what I do, and I can't wait to get to work every day. I love my clients, the staff are fantastic. So I just want to do it for longer. And that's the reason I want to keep taking time off. And experience, I think, what I've seen now as I'm getting a bit older, and we're all seeing, the mental stuff I can do quite well still, but the physical stuff I'm losing quite quickly. So I want to go and still be able to try and surf or do a headstand or run.
Surfing is a fantastic plan. I tell you what, you can also relax on the surf.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, lovely.
But some of my mates want me to do the Ironman, but you know, Gino, it's a really difficult sport when you don't cycle, run, or swim well. You know, we grew up with a ball, so
All
you play.
three.
Yeah.
Strike three.
Yeah, if you don't cycle, run, or swim well, it's a difficult sport. But you know, we grew up playing with a ball, so we always thought the cycling, the running, swimming was boring because we ball. And as we get older, we we wish we had done a bit more cycle, running, and swimming.
I'm sure. You know, I see Mandy Fezes always impress you most about you, even though even through primary and high school, you always did your homework. More serious, been one of the words of success and watch you grow. Most beautiful observation has been your kindness, willingness to pay it forward. So proud.
Yeah, Mandy. I mean, you know, it took a long time for me to grow up. So you know, Mandy used to do most of our work at school. We thought school was going to play hockey and squash and cricket and hang around, and Mandy did most of the work. She had the best filing system, the files. She loved Nas Poeta. I mean, you should see the stuff on Nas, and I think Joost. But Mandy did so much. I think if it wasn't for Mandy, I don't think I'd have passed in 6, 7, and 8. I think I failed standard 9 because Mandy wasn't there.
Because she was doing your homework for you, you bastard. Gary Webb saying, brilliant initiative, guys. Great to see Cappy.
Gary Webb, have you seen that man hit a squash ball? He's incredible.
Really?
I mean, probably the finest hit of a squash ball that I've seen out of all the guys in P.
You say because of your peripheral vision, you could play squash.
So that is so interesting because cricket, straight down the middle, can't play.
Can't check it.
Tennis,
But you couldn't see Carl's balls anyway.
No, Carl.
When I say that,
Carl was
cricket
fast,
balls.
but Cliffy was really quicker.
Oh, really?
You know, we're the younger ones, so we're the bigger ones. But straight down the middle of the eyesight, really battle. Tennis, straight down the middle is really battle. walking in a battle. But squash, interestingly enough, is periphery. So you hit it to the side of your body and you hit it there. So the only time I battle a lot is when I play someone like Neil Emsley or Alan Stapleton.
All right, yes.
And they lob it up into your space and it goes out. So
Bastards.
so you can't hit it so well. But squash is more of a periphery game, where cricket and my brother Scott, he's
Well, he's also he does ball sports is his thing.
He's a talented human being. But we'll play golf and I'll hit one and you say it's gone. And then I'll hit another one and say, no, and laugh at me, they're both down the fairway. Because he knows I can't see a thing.
Damn him.
So damn him.
Damn him.
But Scotty and I we've got a wonderful relationship. He's the only brother I've got left here. My sister passed away so early. She took over the role of being mom.
Okay.
And she passed away, unfortunately, very early. And so Scotty and I are Stu is far away, so, we don't see him much, only every few years. It's a pity, but we went to the World Masters squash together, Scotty and I. We flew over to New York and we saw Stu. So we had a great 10 days in New York, just walking around there and then just the three of us. So it was awesome.
You
Martin
just click
King.
again when you see each other.
Yeah. Click again, and it's fantastic to do that. But I spend a lot of time with Scotty, and he's probably my best friend.
Sure. There we go. There's Scotty and you. Was winning the big cup.
Yeah.
What's that big cup there?
Yeah, we'll talk about the Kiwi Cup.
Is that the Kiwi Cup?
Yeah, we'll talk about the Kiwi
Is
Cup.
that it? So we've touched on a couple of things, but one thing you mentioned earlier was your competitiveness, and I mean that comes from I know provincial sports. Have you done?
Yeah. So hockey and soccer, and I played a lot of hockey and so. But I think it goes back to mom passing away at 16 and 17 and being quite angry.
Tough at that time.
Yeah, quite a tough time in your life, when they go. So I think I was quite angry for many years, 6 or 7 or 8. I mean, look at Justin Potgieter there, and Ryan Brown and
Their
Deontay
heads have
Sale,
disappeared.
and
I don't know.
Dan Casey was our coach.
Find
And,
their heads,
some great players there, Graydon Morris and things. But I think I was very, very angry. I think my nickname in the team was Animal.
Really?
So what happens? I developed a reputation to be the person to go and hit the opposition's good player.
Oh, really? Okay.
And then you almost become that role.
Yeah.
And it's not so great.
Yeah.
At the time it was all fun. I could hit the guy with a stick and you get sent off. And my wife used to sit behind the goals, because I don't know, in the old days, if you knew, when you got sent off from the hockey field, you sat behind the goals for 5 minutes. You didn't go the halfway line now. So she went and sat behind the goals because she thought that was normal. But it wasn't a moment I was proud of in my life. So, my boys asked me about it quite a lot, and I really downplayed it. But I was really angry, and I think it almost set me back from not making it really to the top of the hockey side, because I think if I could have controlled my my behaviour at that stage, then you could have gone to the Olympics.
It's a bit of a vortex in the end, where your teammates then know you as that. So we need.
So you become that.
We need Brent now. He's got to go in and take that out. You've got to.
But it sets you back, So your goals, and then you're quite difficult character to handle, so you get left out of teams.
Okay.
You get
last one to choose. Scott and Carl, Keith Clark. There we go. Who's left
Gary
now?
Stevenson.
Okay, it's just Brent left. It's just Brent left.
And it's like that. I mean, it's very much. So you look back and you think, Jinkers, if I just went through. I don't have regrets about it, because I've learned to understand what it was. But if I just hope my boys don't go through that, because. They're both very talented with hockey and cricket, and they train really hard. So they've got a lot. But at the time we were growing up, we didn't have mentors. And I think if I can speak to any of the guys out there, try and take on someone, be their mentor. Like just if you see a young kid battling, or you see someone, take them on and be a mentor to them, because that's what they need. The talented guy playing up needs somebody just to help him and be part of. And not,
Did you have any form of mentor back then yourself? Or
I had some great coaches. I mean, the greatest hockey coach I ever had was a guy by the name of David Reed Ross. Okay. But I only had him for a short period of time. If only we'd had him for 3 or 4 years. I managed to captain UPE at that stage with that hockey team. And, so he came to coach us. But a year wasn't enough. I think if we had him for 4 or 5 years, like some of the coaches would have stayed, I think a lot of those guys would have been Springboks today and would have played in Olympics, and they were proper hockey players.
Yeah, because you just need that. Often it's the training and it's like almost. Would you find that? I mean, you're a sportsman. I was never really. I was always a musician, But do you find that what sort of percentage would you say of your career is to do with your training and what's your natural talent? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think initially your natural talent is way and gets you into all the places.
Yes.
But then I think your training keeps you there. And then I think mentally as well. If you've got someone who believes in you, they're part of the system, and they're going to help select you, and they're part, believe in you and help you, guide you in what you need to do.
Yes.
Because I mean, I think the higher you go up, more you got to give up. And I don't think I was prepared to give up enough. Enough at that stage,
Like
so I think you don't realize what these sportsmen go through, what they give up.
Yeah.
And I think each section you go up, you got to give up something.
Well, I'm sure. I mean, we've had Gavin Kiley, we've had Fires on here. These guys that are, callous, guys that they give up so much of their lives and so much of opportunity, like you were talking about, like your business, for starting your business early, that sort of thing is so important. I mean, what do you think? I reckon. There's Rob Taylor saying here, remember days played for almost Celtic against the Riff Raff from Heatherbank.
Robbie Taylor, Heatherbank and Warmer Celtic were great days. I mean, I grew up with my mom there, going to watch her brother Gary Scallon playing with most of these guys, and Stuart, my brother, was a really good soccer player, and Gary played with the Manor brothers, and Gary Stevenson and Casey's Butt, and so we grew up on the side of the field. We grew up playing. We didn't have the one thing I did limit my boys doing was their TV time and their iPad time and those things, because I wanted them outside and playing, and the boys in particular, they'd phone me and they'd say 4:30, 5 o'clock, it's my time now, and I'd come home and then spend an hour or two with them playing, because I think I learned that from my dad. I think my dad, having come from EP Children's Home and Northwood family, wanted a solid family and wanted to spend time with us as kids, and he gave us all the time he could. And I always wanted to just give my boys as much time as they can. So they're they're there for such a short time.
Absolutely.
And now they're fast there. Now you see them once every 6 months, and they ask you, they phone you, they need a bit of cash. Hey Dad, I need some cash. I need some cash. Send me $100. So.
It's so right. It's so right. As Cecil Thompson said, you must be proud of Alex Boy. This is you're one of their best ever.
Oh, Cecil, thanks for that, but I don't think so. We've had a lot of people to keep up with there. There's some fantastic people come out of Alex. And when we get together as Alex, no matter what the age, we transcend the ages. It's a massive bond we got with Alex and the boys and the girls. We like I said, we know so many people but sport. The one thing about the sport, and I was probably a jack of all trades, so I played
I was
them
going
all.
to say, which one was your favorite? I think Michelle Saki saying how there's well.
Oh, hello, Michelle. So you...
Is it Michael? Oh, it's Michael. Sorry.
No, it's not Michelle. It's Michael Saki.
Yeah, sorry, it's Michael Saki. I'm looking at it. Sorry,
Michael
Michelle.
Saki. We played a tremendous amount of hockey together, and I mean, he was a great left wing, and he went on to coach EP hockey to Currie Cup champions, the EP hockey team in those days. So, so Michael Saki, he did a lot for hockey, and he was a great. I think he was the MD of GM as well, and he did. So
that's.
But going back to the Alex guys, we just all over the world we connect. I think. It's a nice point.
It's always, and the PE schools as well. It's always, come together with their reunions. We enjoy that.
Yeah, we love it.
Just see, there's a couple. I see Frankie Posthumus there.
Frankie Posthumus was at Pearson, with the hockey players. Him and his brother Charles,
had one of the best dishwaller moves. What's a dishwaller move?
It's just when you go over the top of the ball and you make the opponent look like you're going left, and you go right, and you can go over the top. I can't do it with the stick anymore, but you can still do it with the hands.
I don't know these things. You and Michael Saki were telling me about these things, man.
Yeah, so you go over there. But Frankie Posthumus, we played from EP under 15 together, and he was a Pearson, wonderful player with another great friend of mine, Justin Potgieter. And Pearson and Alex were so close at sporting events. And the
There we go. Black magic. Okay, well, just unplug it and plug it in again, maybe. All right, we'll see if we can get that picture. Let's unmute. There we go. We got sound back again. You know, the problem with these things is that it seems to be that that Mr. Cocker is always just around the corner. You know, with these things. So whether it be, I don't know. We've never had that issue before in our lives, but we seem to have had it tonight. But we're back online, and I think it's a local camera issue that we're from. But yeah, just that togetherness of the schools. I love that. It's always the Alex story.
Alex Pearson, West String, VP. You know, all of the same strength. You know, we used to play Gracie and lose to them, but we were solid against other schools. It was fine. But
and when you have to handle the girls, because we'd been through that at school. When you're in the class with the girls, you know where not to tread.
And it helps you in life.
Yes, it helps you a little bit. I see Barbara Mann is saying how's it there as well.
Bob's, I mean, she's done such a wonderful thing for soccer, and you know, a wall of remembrance of all soccer players that have passed. My mom and dad on there. She's just Apple. I mean, we used to be part of a group called Y12 with Bob's and Apple and Billy Prout and all the guys who used to play soccer. We just had the most marvelous time. You know, we just Bob's is a special person.
I think it's time we start to chat about the Keevy Cup, because that's a big thing for you guys.
Massive thing for us.
And it's a wonderful thing that you do. I've actually yet to come across anything else that is almost started by your family. And it's grown into such a big thing as well.
It's an absolute massive thing. I don't know if Gary's going to play the video or you want me to talk about it before.
Let's have a quick squiz at the video.
Test.
You wear them down with excellence.
You give it absolutely everything. Come Sunday night, you can honestly say to yourself, I have no more to give.
You know, the Keevy Cup started in 2011. After the passing of my dad in 2010, you know, Scott and I really wanted to have a sporting event to celebrate their lives.
To leave something that reminded everybody of not just what role they played in our lives, but in a lot of the community.
So we thought, what can we do and what sport can we play and what can we do together? And golf seemed the only sport that we could do together. So we decided to form the Keevy Cup, where Scott had 11 players and I had 11 players, so a total of 12 of us. And we decided to do it every second year and try and keep it as authentic as possible.
The Keevy Cup, I think, means a lot to everybody that's playing, but it goes deeper than that, and it runs in the vein of family, memories we have, loved ones we've lost.
Brother versus brother, Scott's mates versus Brent's mates in memory of Jack Keevy.
In 2019 was so important to us because for 4 years before that, Scott's team, the USA team, had won the tournament, and sort of if we didn't start doing well in it, and they've been very close, but if we didn't start doing well in it, it would almost become irrelevant. And so for the tournament to keep its competitive status and relevance, it was absolutely vital we went out there and won. The people in my team have always got a very special place in my life. I mean, not one of them are there just for the sake of being there. They're there because they're part of my 11 people I want to take on a golf tour. But I think the guys were really, really motivated to win. At the last day we played strength on strength, so it was an unbelievable performance from our guys. We had one guy out, Sid Mayer was injured, so we only had 11, so we really needed the other 11 guys to win at 6.5 points. So I think everyone just pulled together and everyone knew how relevant it was that the winning. I think the key moment for us was lighting the candle. I think our guys really felt they were playing for more than themselves and wanted to do quite well.
We actually worked out what people's handicap were and how we can best match people, who's playing the most, who's not playing so much, who's playing well against the handicap, and where you're going to get the most shots. And you know, Brent, the captain, he was very wise in the way he worked that all out.
It was extremely close. I think the moment that led to us winning the Keevy Cup was a surprise victory, I think, on day 2. when Mark Raspberry and Mark Hoffmeyer beat the Barmerston brothers, which was completely unexpected. We were one down and a bit despondent, and there came Mark Raspberry and Mark Hoffmeyer, and they won the game. And I think that was the key to everything. And after that, we believed. We fight hard. Everyone fights hard for their point. And people are disappointed. You see one guy's facing absolute jubilation, and you see somebody else on the 18th green absolutely shattered. Putting about a metre from the pin and shaking, seeing people shake, seeing grown men cry over 1 point, so that, they're playing for somebody higher than themselves. The previous 4 Kiwi Cups, we'd been leading going into the back 9 of the tournament on the last day, and managed to lose all of those. And this was the first time we held on and managed to win.
The Kiwi Cup, to me, has brought us all together in one familiar vein of family and laugh and competitiveness, winning and losing, and how to do both.
I think Mom and Dad would be really proud of what we've done, and we just keep their memories going, and each and every person's memory that's in that event is just absolutely special.
We saw grown men cry. We felt the tension in the ranks. We played the game hard. We rekindled band of brother relationships. We missed some, and we sang some. We paid tribute to the loved ones who had passed on, of which we showed our true colours as men. The curtain has come down on yet another amazing Kiwi Cup. International the winners. Well done to them on a game and battle well played. To Brent and Scotty, take a bow, my brothers, on yet again hosting a stunning event where men can be men, whilst we all remain boys. Thank you for allowing all of us to be part of this until we all meet again. We are extremely blessed.
And tell me about the Kiwi. Tell me a little bit more detail about that, because that's,
Mom and Dad and Kelly, we just played such a big part in our lives, and Scotty and I wanted to do something to remember them, and we. At our age, can we play soccer? No. Can we play squash together? No. 24 guys. So you can, but it's not as... And golf just seemed to be the obvious thing to do. So we sort of copied the President's Cup format, and we made it as authentic as possible. And, we got 11 players each and 12 players, and we played it... And every 2 years, we played at Samoa. And, Gino, there's so much respect to it. Everyone dresses up properly. There's kit for all the days. And... on that night, when we light those candles, you've got 24 A-type personalities in the room. There is not a sound. That every single person is playing for someone more than themselves. And, it's not just about Dad, Mom and Kelly, but it's about everyone who's lost someone or has someone meaningful to them passed away in their lives. And so it's just such a wonderful experience. They light their candle, and their candle burns. They each got their own candle. And their candle burns throughout the event. Oh, wow. And at the end of the event, they put the candle out. Okay. It's highly, highly competitive. I mean, we, just like Jackie would be. I mean, we can't pretend we're not.
So your mom was quite competitive, eh?
Yeah, my father was very competitive. My mother made sure everyone got on, and there's enough food for everyone, and make sure everyone got the places on time. And you didn't mess with any of her sort of chickens, but her chickens were everyone. Everyone at Bank, everyone at Alex, everyone at Albert Hurt. So her chickens included many more people than just her family. But Gino, I played many golf games, and every time you play golf, people play for money and things, and you bet on the side. There wasn't one bet in the 6 years we've had it, in the 12 since 2011, and so people just play for that 1 point. And I think this is a fitting tribute to them and for what they've done in our lives. I think they'd be really proud, and I hope they're looking down at us, smiling and saying,
"For sure,
they've left something behind." And if I can do the same for my boys and leave something behind for them, it'd just be fantastic.
It's not. It seems it's just not. I mean, it means a lot to you, and Scotty, obviously, and your brother. But in terms of bringing other people into this and getting them to have that same experience with somebody that they've lost, that's lovely.
And the whole community, and the whole Eastern Cape community. I mean, most people would know my dad and mom were part of. They touched their lives in some point. Yes. And at the schools and at the sporting events and so most people they would have touched their lives.
And your 11 people from each side, right? It's got this USA and Europe, or what is it?
So my friends, I mean, we. there's some proper A-type personalities and proper leaders in that team. So managing 11 other seriously good golfers, and they're full of well, I mean, and the adrenaline pumps up, and sometimes, but it's just played in the most magnificent spirit, but hard and fair, and an inch isn't given, it's not expected, and just how my father would have been, So I think that is important. I mean, Kelly would love to see it there. I think the biggest regret we have is we can't get Stuart over, so we need to in the next Kiwi Cup in 18 months' time get Stewie to come over and play with us. So it works on a theory called dead man's shoes. So once you're in, you're in. Okay. So no one can get in until you decide to go. Okay. So we very seldom have new players coming in or out now. The guys absolutely love it. So it's just been the most marvelous.
So you got your shoes, you've got to be there.
You got your shoes, you got your boots, you got to be there.
Make a plan, otherwise you're going to lose your place.
We talk about Gary De Bruyne there. I mean, when he came on early and he said mention the Kiwi Cup. I mean, I mean that he was absolutely. They were coming up the last hole. Our guy needed to win a point. He was one ahead, but if he won the hole, he got a half. Gary knew the half would have caused them to lose the match, and our guy got the half. And I promise you, it was like it was absolutely ashen. But a few hours later, we were having a great time. And, we're all good. But Martin King and his boys, they have a great time. They gave us a hard time for 8 years. Remember, if you've lost for 4 years in a row, every 2 years you've lost for 8 years. So we wanted to, when we won, get a ticket tape parade and go down Cape Road in a bus. But we thought that was a bit overkill. But otherwise,
I see Nicky Cherry saying I was from New Zealand as well.
Nicky Cherry, Clayton. I mean, what a great Scotch player is Clayton Cherry. I mean, he's a wonderful, good-looking guy, Nicky, and we miss Nicky and Clayton tremendously.
Brent, Scotty, I have no idea how proud your mother and sister Jeanette and Jack and Kelly would be. Stuart is burning because he's not been able to get there of late.
Yeah, Casey Clark, he's a proper member of the family. I mean, Casey's known us for a long time, as I said, and with the squash side and sponsoring all the squash and all the liquor and the different things. And he's such a positive person for Grey, for the whole Eastern Cape, and I think
been wonderful. He's been on the show as well, and he's wormed his way into Gino Spot, into our Gino Spot hearts. Absolutely, it's been fantastic. We've actually got a group of, and Barbara's one of them as well. That's been. Our sort of backstage crew, we could call it, where we've come for advice and stuff. Fond memories of your mom, big personality, running up the sideline, shouting and encouraging your boys. Was that, Mr. F, where's your glasses?
And that Bob's knows, but Mom was, I think, the first lady referee in the Eastern Cape.
Oh, really?
She never really went onto the field and refereed a soccer game.
Oh, right.
But she stood there telling the referee what to do because...
I remember those.
And Mom was a very interesting character. If you were winning 4-1 or something with 10 minutes to go, she'd start shouting for the opposition kids.
Oh, really?
And as a young kid, you couldn't work it out. She was shouting for the opposition, but she so badly didn't want those kids to lose too badly. So
it was a lady. I love
it was
that.
A wonderful thing.
It's amazing how you look back on that now, and you see exactly what kind of person she is.
Thank you, Postumus. I mean, Justin Potgieter had a table tennis table in his garage while we were trying to pass his BCom accounting.
Was this an Alex or a Herbert Hurd thing?
Table tennis,
Table tennis was it because Gary's a big table tennis.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking who? I mean, we just didn't. There at Clarendon Park, we didn't know about table tennis. I mean, we knew it was a sport, but nobody played it. Gary Hemmings and you and these oaks, Herbert Hurd oaks, who all the table tennis oaks.
So Gina, our car is parked outside.
Yeah.
Our garage was not for vehicles.
Oh, really?
our garage had a table tennis table, a pool table, and a dartboard in the middle. Okay. And we'd come home and we'd think we're the champion, and my dad would walk in and beat us all. And that's how we lived, from 5 to 8. My mother would be calling us for supper. Meantime, the finals on. My dad would be stepping in late, so that's what we do.
Children's Home probably had a bloody thing.
Shafiqi's still waiting for opening for the Kiwi Cup.
Some shoes.
I said to him, when the Warriors win one of the competitions, then he can come play. So we need Ficky to pick nicely. So for the Warriors,
we're in. The Warriors, we got.
I saw a comment from our friend Justin Potgieter there.
Yes,
he's there. He and I spent a lot of time.
Best ball player. Too many stories. Woo! Can offer surfing lessons, says Justin. Eh?
Yeah, do you know Justin? I don't know if you know that Justin was in the centerfold of Scope. He's the world champion flags beach champion for lifesaving.
Oh, really?
And there's a picture of him in scope centerfold, and then he fully clothed with his little speedo diving, and he actually broke the Australian guy's arm, I think, in the outreach of it. But Justin's got the amazing ability, and it was absolutely wonderful to play hockey next to him because we used to play in the middle of the field called links. We used to link up to the players. Okay. And Justin was so quick that if the ball went loose, he'd be able to get there quicker than anyone else. It really, he could react and then pass it on, and then you had time and space to make yourself look good. Right. But Justin was really top class to play with. I mean, what a wonderful guy. He's been trying to teach me how to spearfish. Oh, really? But I've been shooting some H2H bottles in his pool. But
good. Letta dos Santos. You sound like a porra there.
Yeah, Letta. I mean, that house. That man cave your hubby built for me was fantastic. I mean, my wife's the interior decorator, and in all of our houses we have like a theatre room, and we play the music loud on a Sunday. You'd love it, you know. And you put a surround sound. You've got to come around. And in our old place in Parkridge Crescent, hubby built that. Built that movie theatre. Was fantastic.
Love that.
For any rugby game, for anything, we had a movie theatre. Was fantastic.
So that's a winner to have a movie theatre in your house. Then you know you've made it.
Shireen Heinrich is such a. I mean, she lives in Stellenbosch now, where my boys are. But she was our hockey manageress, Pearson girl, and just incredible girl. And we went on so many hockey tours together, and she came with us as the manager. She likes to sing. She liked to sing with my friend Graydon there. But what a wonderful person Shireen Heinrich is.
Oh, beautiful. All right, it's time for getting to know you questions.
Okay.
We're going
to know you, getting to know all about you.
Getting to know all about you.
I hope they're easy.
All right, the craziest, most out of character thing you've ever done.
Okay, so Gino,
tell us about your character first, Jimmy. Put a framing. Frame it for me.
No, I'm quite a boring person. People don't really ask me to tell them stories. They come for advice, and they pop around, and I'm, boringly, effectively trying to go along, laugh, and
yes, trying to tell them where to put their money.
Yeah, where to put their money, how to invest. And you've got to be quite serious when you do that. And I love the sport and the people and the family, and and just traveling and all those things. But I don't really do things too much out of sync, So one day I go to a hairdresser, in PE, and a friend of mine, my wife's friend, owns their salon, so I'm there, and the lady says, I think we should dye your hair.
Yeah.
She says, it's going a bit grey, and let's put some, and I'll just put, no one will notice.
Low lights.
No one will notice.
Highlights, low lights.
The owner of the salon comes in, and she says, no, it's a great idea, no one will notice. Yeah. They put in this hair dye. They said, don't worry, it'll a month's time it'll be completely gone. 2 weeks, no one will notice. And it comes out and it's auburn red.
Whoa.
And I've got this Rooikop. So
fires,
so fires. I go to work, and everyone looks at me and sort of stares. And at that stage, my wife, she used to come because we'd got a big banking business. She'd come authorize all the authorizations for the day to make the payments.
Okay.
And she walks in and she sees me with this red hair. And she walks straight back out. She just leaves the building. And she phones me. She phoned about 5 minutes later. She gets home. She phones. She says, come home right now. And so she just get home and said, what you do? She says, who are you having an affair with? So I had this it took like 4 weeks to go. Midlife crisis, auburn hair. So fortunately it did wash out. So it's crazy. It's completely out of character. Right. But it was one of those spur of the moment moments, because the sort of hairdresser said do it, and the friend said do it, and I thought, okay, we'll just do it.
Just do it then.
I don't overthink things too much. There's nothing there. So I came home with that.
I like that, not overthinking. Because you've got to be just.
I did a job.
So no, I think you got to do it again sometime. I think we're in. All right. The most important thing you want your kids to know.
Yeah, I always ask them. We've travelled a lot, and I see things, and I always suggest to them they choose what they want to do in life.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important that, like don't let anyone make those choices for you.
Okay.
So choose there. But I think we're doing too much on the periphery of surface of things. Mm-hmm. So and I always say to you, but do what you do well. Like go into the depth of it.
Yeah.
And then I think so. Choose what you want to do. Go deep into what you can do. So really fulfill your talent in that area. Okay. And then the most important is connect with everyone around you. Like from everyone you meet, and not just some people only connect upwards.
Yeah.
Like only if they've perceived someone as being important or special.
Yeah.
But connect. They connect with everyone.
Would you say to work on your strengths then, or say?
Yeah, but do that. So when I want to leave them with that is choose what they want to do. If you're good at something, be really good at it.
Yeah.
Understand it. Go and study it. Go be good at it, so that you're not a little bit of a lots of things. You're not average. But the most important thing, which is going to give you the biggest joy, is your connections with the people that you meet around. So
of course it is. And that can save you if you decide you can't find what you're good at. Your connections are the way that you go
and my son Matthew, I think he gets away with murder because he connects so well, but he's got to go do the other parts where he goes deep in things, because he really does know how to connect. And I think it's I think it's wonderful to be able to connect with other
very
people.
good advice. Gary's saying is develop your strengths rather than concentrate.
Unbelievable. And it's
trying to fix what you're not good at is not necessarily the best way.
Being in your element. I think it's vital that you spend your time in your element, and that's choosing what you want to do, doing it well. And I've been very blessed, and I'm very grateful that I'm able to work with members and work with people, and try and make a difference to their lives.
You enjoy it?
I absolutely love it.
Yeah. Like working with numbers. I can't think of anything I'd rather not do.
Numbers can't lie to you, Gino. They're there. They can't lie to you.
But also, I think I do share like you enjoy working with numbers, but you enjoy that strategic thing about it. It's not admin that you enjoy.
No, I can't stand admin. I'm the worst.
Like some people enjoy admin. I would rather poke my eyes out with a pointy stick than deal with administration. Gary, of course, loves administration. He loves it very, very much. It's most his favourite thing. Have you got any superstitions? Are you superstitious about anything? Oh, what's it? When you fire Andrew Poole, I might get the nod. Oh, there we go.
Casey, I see Andrew Poole's just become a member of the RNA, so I think we should be doing some of our tours to Scotland with him. But he's a great value, him and Sid Meyer and Graham Rushmere, Mark Rushmere, they're all great value on the tour, So Jenny Daniels,
there we go.
Her brothers were proper sportsmen. She was proper sportsman.
Jenny, did you have to put up with those brothers of yours?
Grant Botton, the Muir guys, they were good. Justin Brennan, Grant Botton, Shane Viviers.
Is that Brett Botton's brother?
Yeah,
is that Brett your brother? Of course, from Spa. Thank you very much, Brett. We're organising,
Yeah, thanks, Brett.
Clayton Cherry says, how's it?
Yeah, Clayton Cherry, what a good squash player. And he plays it. He doesn't look like he even sweats when he plays squash.
Oh, really?
He just moves around the court. No, fantastic squash player.
We hate people like you, Clayton Cherry. Just waft around that squash court and we run and sweat like maniacs. No. All right. Let's see. Have you got a famous person that you admire or respect?
I think the person I admire most, a famous person, is Gary Player.
Gary Player?
Yeah, Gary Player. I've played 2 rounds of golf with him in the last month, and Gino, just blown away. For somebody
hanging around with Gary Player,
just 86 years old, so positive about everyone.
Yeah.
Has his goals every single day.
86.
Fit, he walks around the golf course fitter than we are. We also have more energy than all 3 of us who are playing with him.
Yeah.
Got his goals. He wants to break his age by 18 years old. So he wants to shoot 68. Wow. He's got his goals for work. He's got his. He's not a shrinking violet. He's just absolutely fantastic to be around. And I like that positiveness. I really battle with the other side.
Yeah.
But the positive and the hope, and I really enjoy that. And for that reason, I'd like to have met someone like Nelson Mandela, but Gary Player, who I've actually met, is the person that I think.
You're talking about goals there, because I just did look at the book. You had a book there on your family as well. This is amazing, because I think that was kind of a therapeutic thing for you too. Was it after the accident that you? Yeah,
after the accident and quite a while. But I got a life coach to go through it, and I wanted somebody I didn't know.
Okay, so just to explain it, he's got a book as well, and it's almost like a goal-setting thing.
No, it was just about family. Finmap, fun, friends. What's important to my life, and I wanted to document it.
Yeah.
And then have the goals and what I wanted to achieve, and to look back at to look back at the life-changing moments and really understand them in the years and try to understand myself a bit, because
documented.
I've got to try and understand myself. Not often, it's not easy for other people. I learn myself.
It's very hard for us. No, I love it. But certainly, it's a thing that focuses you and makes you think about what your life and what you're doing. Was that a sort of cathartic thing?
Definitely the cathartic thing, to really understand what I wanted to be. And what I still want to be, because there's still so much to go and do.
Is it a good idea to do that?
It's a great idea, and that from that came the 100 days, and from that came a lot of my future direction. I think one of my top 3 days that I've had in my life was sitting in besides the marriage and the birth of my kids, which was just such a joy to me. Was sitting in a London coffee shop for the day and setting my goals out for the next 5 or 10 years. And
10 years?
Just sitting for the next 5 years. And then I found that little black book a few years ago. And every single one I'd written down had been achieved. So I was it's interesting how writing them down leads to them being in your head,
Gee whiz. That's amazing. And I've heard that so many times as well, but I've never really thought about it in practice, and because it's admin for me. It is admin, but if you do it and you put down those goals, and there have been a few guests on the show. Liesl Cravenstein always stands out. Kobe Potgieter is another one that kind of set goals for themselves and have achieved them for sure.
But the important thing is to set them all. So it's easy to set a work goal. I want to earn X and I want to do that, but then you've got some weight ones. I want to manage weight, or I want to do yoga, I want to do a headstand, or I want to go on a long walk, or I want to travel to 2 different countries, or I want to meet 20 new people or something. So the numbers go to it, but it's like to make sure that in the balance of who you are to achieve those goals in that whole balance, because I don't want things to go well in one area and they're really bad in another, from a health or relationship point of view, because that to me is not success. Success when you're really good in one space, but the rest of your life you've got to try. I think the balance is for me absolutely vital, and spiritually, and to be part of. And that's not just religion; it's about giving and part. And I've learned very early on: the more you give, the more you get. And I think we were very lucky with a lot of people have loads of expectations of themselves, and therefore tend to be unhappy for a long time not achieving them. I think where we came from with just the loving family, where Dad came from, if I look back now, I could never have dreamt of living this life.
Yeah.
Really, I could never have dreamt of having a wonderful wife that I have, the boys, the business, my staff, the people, the sport. So I couldn't dream of doing that. So having those expectations that are just, I wake up every day quite happy.
Yeah, I know when we spoke with Carl Baumast as well, which you guys were together, you didn't grow up with a lot of money at all.
No, not it
was quite hectic.
On the contrary, but 27 when we started Finmap, or 26 when we started Finmap, there was not a lot, there was nothing.
Okay.
There was minus, there was minus for 2 or 3 years. And,
but people like to hear that stuff, because it doesn't sound like you've done so well for yourself now, but at that time, there's nothing. So what keeps you going then? What does this? Great individual, values family and friends, is always there to help others. Thank you, Gary.
What a great man. He's done so well, Gary De Bruin. The Fitch and Leeds brand, and Score, and what they've done. They've just done incredible work.
We've got some of the new energy ones as well. We haven't got. We're drinking the grapefruit.
Nice,
the grapefruit, very nice. But we've got some of the energy ones in case we run out of energy.
But our boys played together, and they were also fantastic. So.
There's Jenny saying, my brothers had to help put up with me. Really?
Jenny.
Is that Jenny?
The brothers the Daniels brothers, the Keevys, we were all part of. Alex had big families come through, because unlike grey and collegiate, the girls came to the same school. So, you met the sister, the brother, the younger brother came through. In the 5 years that we were there, you met 3 family members. So you become quite the Alcocks. They were all unbelievable.
Ian and Paul.
Ian and Paul were the one lot, but the other one were the fishermen. And Chad was a great rugby player, and Lando was an unbelievable sportsman. Brett was a very good fly. So all those Alcock brothers and that were big sportsmen,
And Mike Van Fury says, well done, Brenty, very humble nipper. They're well brought up by wonderful
Mark Van Fury, and also I remember Mark, because when my dad had the spray deck, Mark used to sell paint. And he used to come sell, I don't know what type of paint to my father.
I'm a big fan from Mark,
but Mark loved fishing.
Yes, of
and my
course,
father was absolutely, you know, when he had his spare time away from Heatherbank Soccer Club, he fished, and he was a proper fisherman. And, you know, catch big mussel cracker and lots of elf and Larry from the rocks, rock and surf. And Mark and him had lots in common with the fishing. So we knew Mark quite a lot. And Mark, you know, Mark from us being nippers and that, like he says, but Mark's always got time for everyone. And I think that's where, that's what I'm talking about, the connection side. Mark always connects with everyone.
Big heart. It's been great. And Mike's been also behind the scenes as well, organising stuff for us as well, and just been a great help. Thank you, Mike. So let's have a look. How's your life been different from what you imagined? So when we're talking about goals and stuff here as well, I suppose, but when you started out, did you have those?
It's completely different, Gary. I mean, completely different, you know. It's just completely different. I mean, if I look at what Finmap, I mean, we managed 3 billion rand out of the Eastern Cape.
It's incredible.
And, you know, you take people like our pioneers of the industry, like Peter Henderson and Peter Phoenix and Harry van here, and they travel to Joburg and they bring the economy back here. I've never left PE to do that. So the people, so we manage that. The 20 staff that are there, completely different, great business, you know, staff, the people are happy there. Just Crusaders, what we have. I mean, brilliant setup.
Amazing.
Our friends, my wife, I mean, what a wonderful woman. I mean, so capable in doing everything. The boys, they have a lot, you know, but they're not spoilt, and they, you know, they've achieved. They made me so proud. I mean, this Keevy Cup, the bringing my brothers and I so much closer together with that after the big loss, you know, it's quite a sad thing when you lose so many people in your life. You know, the car accident took away some of my faculties, so I had to learn that. So just being able to do and to be able to give of myself and give of things away now, I'd never thought I'd be able to do that. So I'm really chuffed.
And like you said, there wasn't anything to benchmark. You've come through, and whatever you're doing now, that's the best, and it's great. I love
and my mom, and she only was with me for 16 out of my 54 years. But she always believed, go for it, you know, like you believe you can fly. I mean, you've got that beautiful song. And, you know, you raise me up, those type of things. So you can just be more than what you are. And I think that's the way. I think when you meet the right people and you in the right families, I mean, the Immelman family is a fantastic family.
Yes.
You know, when you're in the right families and things and people build you up and your things, you become more than you can be.
Yeah. And your family is obviously is the core.
Yeah, it's core of everything.
Yeah. Okay, let's. What about the most uncomfortable place you've ever slept? What about that?
So Michael liked this. I slept at a place called, and I hate closed spaces. And I slept at a place, my dad used to fish angling week. And they used to go catch sharks at a place called the Shark Ramp at Cape St. Francis. Okay. And they cast in and they catch big sharks. And but at night we used to sleep under like 3 or 4 meters of rock. And I used to wake up with these terrible nightmares. And but he still carried on taking me with me, and I've slept there. Fortunately, I've heard other stories about where you're sleeping. Fortunately, my wife's never kicked me out. So I haven't had to sleep outside. I haven't had to sleep in a car.
Under a rock.
Under a rock, having a nightmare at Cape St. Francis. But I do remember at Varsity, PE got AstroTurf for the first time when I was at university. So the hockey moved from UPE to Technicon.
Technicon, yeah, I remember
But we used to play hockey at, I mean, someone had a sense of humour. UPE hockey, 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning. So we used to go out till all hours of the night at that stage. So we just drove our cars to the hockey field at 1 with our kit and fell asleep in the car at 6:30. And our teammate would wake us up and we'd like get out and run go into the change room and get there. So I've slept in some places, but not too bad. I'm not a great camper. You know, I quite like
glamping.
I quite like glamping. You know.
Oh dear. Okay, the hardest that you ever worked?
Oh, no doubt, when we started Finmap.
Okay.
You know, we were 27 and worked hours. I remember just being married to Leanne, and she would be asleep when I got home. And when I went to work, she'd still be asleep. I mean, so I'd get home late and go early and very hard. And I think her father phoned her in the first few months to say, come back home now. You know, this isn't.
Oh, really?
And Yanni phoned, you know, he's very protective dad.
It's time to come.
But, you know, those 3 or 4 years before we made anything, you know, before we got it to a point where it became something. We worked really, really hard. And then, you know, Matthew came along and the boys came along and, you know, then I never worked as hard. And I always wanted to work hard while they were young and before they needed me. So, you know, in those first 10 or 12 years. You know, Gino, your overnight success in the Eastern Cape takes about 20 years.
Yes, it does.
So, you know, if you do the
As
right
I well
things,
know, yes.
as you well know. So, you know, those for you, there's no doubt.
Still going.
You know,
It's still going.
Those were right.
All right. The most physically painful thing you've ever experienced?
I think the car accident.
Car accident. I know.
When I hit my head on the steering wheel and that, and I think I was out for quite a while then, and the pain thereafter and the swelling up. I remember my good friends, the Finlays, and they came to visit afterwards, and Grant and Helga, and you know, I remember Helga walking to the room and just bursting into tears, and I didn't know what I looked like at the time, so I was blind at the time.
Okay.
So after the accident, I was blind for a while, and the eyesight slowly came back. But you know, that was hellish. I've had a few cartilage and knee operations from soccer, you know, as you turn and hockey, so that always let me down a bit. A few ligaments was quite sore, but no doubt.
Not for that, okay. That's going to be a big one. All right, your biggest weakness. Go on, now you've got to be honest, yes.
You know, I'm a terrible with my hands. Terrible handyman. I can't fix anything. And now, you know, later on as you know, Leanne's dad can fix everything. So, you know, you can imagine how bad I look in the family. But and Tracy, Leanne's sister's brother, can fix everything. So, but I'm so useless. And now with my eyesight having gone even worse, in my central vision, I can't even, like, you know, screw something in. So I'm absolutely shocking.
In the side.
Handyman or you know, and like besides, so I'm absolutely shocking, and that's really disappointment to the rest of the family.
Right. And your biggest strength then?
I think I'm really positive about things, and you know, I'm in my element what I do.
Well, I'm sure your wife will let us know if you're wrong.
Yeah, so
she can put it
I
in
think
there.
that's it. I mean, she can put it in, but I haven't heard. I think she's at a function with her friends, so I haven't seen her commentate. But I think just doing it as best I can. I think that's my strength, and you're doing it day after day. I think that's the key. You know, you're
consistent. Yeah, you're right. Something your guilty pleasure. What's your guilty pleasure?
Ghost Pops.
Oh, really?
And Coca-Cola, they're my absolute poison. So, I mean, I don't know what it was, but I think Barbara Manor will know this, but Barbara Manor, we were at Heatherbank Soccer Club, and Mrs. Leach used to work in the, and I used to eat flings and Ghost Pops, so Coke and Ghost Pops, and and no matter as I try, my guilty pleasures are, I don't have bad ones. I've never really been too much interested in, my mom died from lungs and smoking, so I was always anti-smoking and anti-drugs in it, so I didn't have that. I mean, I think I tried a puff once, but that was about it. But the guilty pleasure is really Coca-Cola. So find a way out of something. Ghost Pops.
No, you'll have to find a Fitch and Leeds cola instead of that.
Cola, we'll call it cola. But, I'm not drinking it.
Oh man, have you got any hobbies?
Well, I have got quite a few because I play the sport and everything else. But my hobby now has become trying to study for that CFA, because that's. I mean, I think the books are about this part. The work doesn't seem too difficult because we've been in the industry for 20, but it's just so much of it.
Yes, I know.
And trying to answer the questions correctly. So the hobbies become that. But we absolutely, and Gino, you must pop around what you have done. We absolutely love our squash club. It's a real happy place.
No, Stapes gets me there.
Yeah, and Stapes and Neil Imsley and Martin King and Dale Bretsky and Scotty and you know, all the teams there. Our squash club is the hobby. So between Finmap, Leanne, the boys, the studying, it's enough fun.
Okay, I always love this question. Is your first album that you ever bought?
You know, I didn't have a first album, but my best song by Country Mile is two of them. But my first album is Living on a Prayer, Bob.
Living on a Prayer. Okay, so
and because I had nothing.
Slippery When Wet was the album.
Well, Slippery When Wet. So I absolutely love it. You know, Living on a Prayer, the words, just what they mean to me.
Inspiring. Is that where you go for music? Because I go, you know, when I listen to music, I think of the drums or I think of the thing. Do you think of
the words, the lyrics? I mean, like one moment in time when you're more than you call it can be that.
One moment in time.
I'm quite a pathetic.
Yes, you know, it's very, very, very. You know, I don't know. I don't even know what word to describe it as. Cliche. Yeah, cliche. It's scary. I don't know about that.
Robbie Williams, Angels. I mean, that network,
Angels,
unbelievable. So it is. It's like it's pathetic. Sorry about that.
I am pathetic is probably a better way to describe.
But living on a prayer, if you listen to those words, are just
no. That's you're halfway there. You can go and keep at it.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah.
Is that your? That's the motto. That's the one. And Whitney Houston, for goodness sakes.
So pathetic, yeah, absolutely.
Pull yourself together, Keevy. Good Lord, man.
So I'm happy you teach me about a few songs. Though.
Oh, Brent Keevy, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on board tonight.
Thank you, Gary.
It's been fun. A different kind of show as well, Gavin. Ferraris. You know, Ferraris, I like your name, Gavin, because I'm supporting you guys at the Grand Prix. The shows are, thanks, Gavin.
Thanks, Gavin.
Shows are lekker. They are lekker. We have fun too, Gav.
Wendy
Thompson. Brent bought the townhouse we're living in now from you and Jan Ullman.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic.
Lovely. I hope they left it in a good state, Wendy. Did they leave their underpants lying around?
Justine's well grateful. Yeah. That's my late sister's daughter. I mean, living in New Zealand, I think.
Justine, how's it?
She's fantastic.
Lovely
Pamela Friskin. Now, how clever was that? How pretty and how clever was she? I mean, she really has helped me pass. Derek.
Were you the boffin?
Derek Nesbitt.
Friskin?
Yeah, absolute boffin. Derek Nesbitt. We had a wonderful tour to the UK. His son was goalkeeper of the hockey team. So wife Manette, we had a wonderful tour, having a lot of gins. Lots of gins. Alistair Mather.
On the show.
I mean, what a wonderful guy. Lives in the UK. His child's a great cricketer. He came down to PE. A top man, Alistair Mather. Yeah.
Excellent.
Alistair
was also Alex people, these people.
No, Alistair came from, Alistair will have to tell me, I'm not sure where he came from, but he was sort of out of town here, but he became part of our family. So he was
probably from up there, King Williamstown, whatever. Now, there are two questions that we have to ask at the end of the show, which we always do. One is the most embarrassing moment, and the other one is your proudest moment. Either it's embarrassing or when something's gone completely wrong. Has there been there's a disaster?
Not too sure, but when I met Leanne, I was a waiter at the Spur.
I like these stories. And, I'm already interested.
Yeah.
Is it a which one?
Maverick Spur. And we used to be, at Ken Park, and I put myself through varsity, and we're staying. I was like 5th year trying to finish my 3rd year, so putting some stuff in, and then 6th year trying to finish my 3rd year, and he's serving, and then these young waitresses came along and everything, so I'm showing them. But I'm showing them all stuff, and I cut my finger, so I put a plaster on my finger. So a lady ordered calamari and chips. Beautiful calamari. So I go take it to the table, and I put the calamari down on the table, and I come back to the kitchen. My finger's not doing so well, bleeding. And I just see this table looking up at me, and I sheepishly go look at the table. She says, "Excuse me, young man, I can't eat this because there's the plasters in the middle of the calamari." Those were fun days at the Spur. There were those things, the mate of mine.
Crappy little block. Oh, God, I was thinking fork in there.
And I said, must have come from the kitchen. How did this happen?
Thousand Island sauce and plaster.
So it was all good.
Jan, how's it, Jan?
Yeah, Jan, Jan's just started racquetball. I don't know if you must come play racquetball.
I've given it.
For us oldies, racquetballs.
I played it Old Grey a little bit there. I gave it a go. The bounce is a little bit better for me.
Racquetball's so much fun. And it doesn't hurt the knees, you don't have to lunge as often. So you don't feel sore all the time with the lunging. No lunging.
All right. And your proudest moment, other than the birth of your children, of course, which is your.
Well, no doubt my boys, but I think Finmap. I think that's my proudest. But I think the proudest moment beyond doubt is starting, establishing, and making it something Mom and Dad would be proud of was the Keevy Cup.
The Keevy Cup is amazing. It's something really special. I think you guys have got something amazing there to do, and a legacy going forward.
Yeah, and I can invite you. I think what we'll do next time is really invite you and Gary to come across and open the night for a show for us at the Keevy Cup.
Let's do it.
But I think you'll see then what it's all about, and
fantastic. Simola. Di Pepper has been wanting to get us there for bloody years. We're still got to do it. Gary's just popped a question up here before you guys. Says, what gives you hope about the future for South Africa? Even PE.
Gary, I think there's so many opportunities, and you only see them as you get a bit older. And there are so many opportunities. But I encourage everyone to fix their own garden. I think, we can worry about Ukraine and we can worry about the rest of the world, but right in front of us, it's right in front of us. And it's just, fix your own garden outwards first and see what we can do. There's lots of opportunity. Let's support each other. Buy from each other, go to shows with each other, go and see the Eastern Cape game parks, which are fantastic.
The community.
The community, buy from each other.
Support each other.
Support each other. Local is lekker. We got wonderful people. I mean, I was part of that Carl Baumeister show. Just what a wonderful man, what he's done. Gino Stapes, Mark van Vuuren, let's support each other and I think it starts from there, and I think there's tremendous hope for that. I mean, we're going through a hell of a time now with the infighting in the municipality. Maybe the ANC and the DA can just get together and run it properly or something. Have 2.5 years each or something, whatever that is. But the mess it's in now is just chaos. But what we can't fix, we can't fix. And I think let's fix our own. Let's stand up straight and fix our own garden.
And also, it's so important, like you say, support the community, and that was what this show is all about as well. It's about creating that community, finding the people, meeting people like yourself, meeting people in BE and surrounds and East London as well. We're going to try and hook on, and Queenstown is always around, and King. I mean, it's if we support each other.
There's my wife. Did you see my wife's comment?
I just spitted. Thank you, Leanne. We told him a few times not to spit it, because last time he was in the studio,
thanks, Leanne. We'd just like to thank Leanne for popping in at the end.
Yes, nice to see you.
Thank you. She's 25th. We had 25 years wedding anniversary this long weekend. So we had a great time at Settlers Drift, and then 2 weeks before we went to Shamwari at the Longley Manor. Unbelievable places in the Eastern Cape, we had the most wonderful time together with our friends Sid Meyer and Felicity Meyer. And
that's the realness of the chat. It's real because he's not telling any lies, because Leanne's going to tell us if he's telling any lies in the comments.
Tell Leanne to keep me some food, please.
Okay, keep him some food then. Thank you very much, Brent.
Thank you.
It's been fantastic.
Awesome, thank you.
And absolute pleasure having you on. We got the competition. We have the competition now for Fitch and Leeds. We give away a case of Fitch and Leeds to whoever is online right now. So let's put the little group there, see who's going to win. If you are online now, you're going to be in the mix. So let's have a look. There we go. Shafiq! Shafiq is our winner.
I'm actually seeing him tomorrow, so that's great.
Oh, fantastic. Well, I'll give you the prize. You can take it to him.
Thank you. I'll take it.
Thank you very much for joining us. And we are there on Tuesday. We got it on Tuesday? Can't remember who's on Tuesday. Well, we'll check it out. We've got a marvelous show for you on Tuesday. Don't miss out. Thank you to our sponsors, Spa, and also Fitch and Leeds. Thank you very much. Amodia for our internet listeners. Thank you so much. And thanks, KC, for the punters.
Thank you, guys.
It's Tim Stone from the South End. We got Tim Stone from the South End. That's gonna be alright.
Beautiful.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. One drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot!
Get to Gino Spot.
Gino Spot!
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.